Sutton deals, and it's another change of pace. We've already seen a few of those so far, nearly in the game.
Yes, absolutely. In the first batter, it looked like she was almost using the changeup to kind of reset herself, try to get a strike on the batter. I think Courtney's doing a really great job of battling with this 3-2 count, so we'll see if she can get on base.
Full count, so payoff pitch, another changeup, just coming through a little high, and that's the second walk of the inning for Sutton. Hawkinson, the catcher, at first. Bastion, the second base player tonight at second. Steph, a timeout. Over to you.
Yeah, not a bad move there by Amber, calling a little timeout. Had a few games off recently, but coming back into the lineup since this weekend will be really key add-in for West Torrens. And not a look, at the end of the day, you don't want to walk 2 hitters in the first inning, but not the worst move there on the three-hitter and very dangerous on a very dangerous lineup for the Hills, because that creates that force. You've got one out. Maybe West Torrens can sneak away with a double play here.
Erin Adams-McDonald to the plate. Watches that first one for a called strike. Runners at 1 and 2. The force is on, Steph, as you mentioned, so double play opportunity. This is a sharp infield that West Torrens have. We might even get you to go around the diamond for us in between batters.
Nice. Oh.
Nice
Almost
play.
called it.
Yeah, from Emma Burridge. She held her feet there on a line drive, took the catch, and with her momentum tried to force the out back at 2. Bastion got back in time.
Yeah, great heads-up running there by Bastion.
Courtesy runner for the catcher. Marich comes in to do the running. Not listed in the starting lineup. Had pitched a blinder of a game.
I heard all about that, actually. That's fantastic for her. Not listed in the starting lineup, but I did see her warming up at the start of the game, so maybe we'll see a bit of a 1-2 punch from the Hills Heat pitching lineup tonight.
Georgia King, welcome return to the Heat lineup. Stars player. Has had some experience with those youth Aussie teams at the... What do they do? Friendship series anymore? Gosh.
I don't know. Showing me age,
How
though.
many of those did you go to?
Oh, many.
Half a dozen?
Very cold is my main memory of them.
High for a ball. Runners still at 1 and 2. Bastion got on from a walk and was advanced by a Megan Williams bunt. And so that runner's been in scoring position for the last 2 batters. And Nearly, feel free to jump in anytime I stop talking. You can, if you see something in the field, mention it. Yeah.
Anytime you
to
stop
get warmed up.
talking, James, that wouldn't happen very often, though, would it?
Foul ball from Georgia King. So mean. Nikki Wong is umpiring behind the plate tonight. Ian Gray up the first baseline. Dave Borovnik down the third baseline. That's our third team on the diamond tonight. Our team in blue, and colouring in the pencils, Marcy Trzynski and Kay Bendel.
Really great job with 2 strikes there.
Pushing the ball out on the outside edge, opposite field, stays alive in the count. Half a swing too, just protecting that corner.
Absolutely. Just look at see if she can drive something through the infield here, potentially score a run.
And make it a third base on balls in the inning. We've seen walk, sack bunt, walk, line drive, walk so far from the first 5 batters. So just the experienced corners coming in, telling Talia, just take your time, settle it a little bit. We've got you on this. It's a loaded bases though now for the Hills Heat and their hitter Lara Temke.
Yeah, Sutton has really shouldered the load for West Torrens so far this season. And we've seen a few games where she's started a little bit shaky with a bit of control, but pretty much has always seemed to rein it back in. So not completely uncommon here, but definitely looking to attack the zone a little bit more for Talia, especially using the fantastic defense behind her.
Fouls it down the third base side. Kayser all over it. Nearly, I heard a whisper about you. You were at training the other night. And you were taking some infield balls and you were using your catcher's mitt. And you don't actually own a fielder's glove.
I do not. I actually haven't truly fielded a ground ball in quite a long time.
Is it a first base glove or is it catcher's glove?
It's a catcher's mitt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I used to play first base a little bit, but once I got to school, university, I was just the staple catcher behind the plate. So
yeah, right.
that was just kind of my thing. No need for another glove.
Yeah, right.
Nice batting from Tamke. Fouled one off. Deep in the count. 2-2 with loaded bases, and the Hills Heat threatening to score early in this game.
Here we go.
Nice shot up the middle, but a great take from Maddie Scott. Read it well on the second, third bounce. Gloved it behind her as she was going towards second base to complete the force out at 2. And Nearly, you like that play?
I did. Yeah, that's a great play by Maddie Scott right there. Help her pitch her out a little bit. I actually played against Maddie Scott in the States. She played in the same team in the same conference as me. So
In the same team?
Not the same team. In the same conference.
I was like, wow, that's a really small word. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that until I got here.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Steph, over to you, hostess with the mostess.
Okay, sort of thrown in the deep end there, James. No worries. But I think this will be such a good game tonight, especially coming off the back of that Hills versus Sturt game on the weekend, where Hills have really started to hit a bit of their stride. They ended up defeating Sturt 5-0, which for such a young team, that is such a fantastic win for them early on in the season. We know that they've got youth. Their big challenge is going to be getting a little bit of consistency through the lineup. They've already used 20 different players this season. 20 different players. That is
in 5 games.
In 5 games. That's insane. We've got Zachledge, Marek and Trevorrow were sort of their real bright lights on Saturday's game. Came up really big and really clutch in some big moments. And then we've got Williams over at third base that we can see on screen there. And their American Hawkinson are going to be their leaders, I suppose, bringing a little bit of experience into that lineup. So there'll be some key players for tonight as we want to go around the diamond. You can see Claire Mohan Ram there pitching to start us off. She closed that game on Sturt on Saturday against Sturt. She's sitting with 11 innings pitched on the season, so she has done the brunt of the work for the Hills so far. Pitching to American catcher Courtney Hawkinson, Erin Adams McDonald's at first base, Abby Bastions over at second, Megan Williams is at third, Georgia King at short, and outfield left to right we've got Tiana Staker, who I hear this is her A-grade Premier League debut tonight over there in left field, Lara Tamke in centre field, and Catalina Staker over there in right field. On the bench we've got Zoe Marek and Mia Oates-Willis as we see Maddie Scott come up to hit for the West Torrens Eagles.
Brilliant. Well done, Steph. You'll have my job in no time.
Oh, that's okay. You can keep it.
As she watches the first one, little outside and ball 1. Yeah, Claire Mohan Ram doing the bulk of the load. Zoe Marich pitched a beauty, and then Claire came in and closed out the game for a team shutout against the Sturt Falcons, who over on the backfield are leading Port Adelaide Magpies in the 3rd inning. A 7:30 start tonight, 4-0 in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, Sturt would have come off of that loss against Hills, raring to go. Getting a few runs up on Port Adelaide's quite impressive. They're a quality team. We've seen Maddie Cameron's already gone 2 for 2 with a home run. I presume it was probably over the fence, but she's pretty speedy, so you never know.
Yep, and Abby Kennedy with a couple of RBIs as well. Ollie Durham doing the pitching for Sturt against Kate Geldof over there on the backfield, and we'll keep you updated as results come in. But back to this game, Maddie Scott has seen a strike now, so she'll be able to free up her hands and attack. Watches that one low for a ball. Checks the count with umpire Wong.
Early in the season, we saw Amber hitting in that lead-off with Maddie slotting in the 2, but Amber took a few weeks off with a bit of a niggle and an injury and has come back through that 2-hole. Maddie's settled comfortably into that lead-off position as she takes ball 4 for a walk.
All 4 batters that have reached tonight have been from a base on ball. So both pitchers just having a little trouble finding their range tonight. Neely, what are you doing as a catcher in that situation?
I think it's really important to just maintain conversation with your pitcher. I really liked how, still learning names, but the catcher for West Torrens was able to call time and just kind of calm her pitcher down. I know with my pitchers, I've got a little bit of sign language with my hands. I do just kind of let them know I'm there for them. So just important to stay reassuring as a catcher, keep them comfortable.
Well, here is the catcher for West Torrens, Amber Hood.
Amber Hood, there we go.
Has missed a couple of games just through a little soreness. And so playing a third game for West Torrens this year. And crushes it up the middle for the first hit of the game. Oh, deflection off the centre fielder. Lara Temke's going to race away to the fence. Amber Hood's going to turn three and look for home. Maddie Scott scores. Amber Hood scores 2-0 to the Eagles.
Can't wait to have a look at this on the Arkabar replay. That was a well-hit ball. That was a well-hit ball there by Amber Hood. You can see that Lara Tamke out in centre field just misjudged it, I think, at the last minute, but it hit so well that as soon as it hit off that glove, Maddie Scott was scoring, absolutely no doubt, and then Amber Hood, between the two of them, the amount of speed they've got, you can see that if you make an error in the field, the Eagles, with especially the top of their lineup and the speed they've got, they're going to make you pay for that.
We'll keep our eye to our left and check in with the scorers to see how that's scored official, but yeah, definitely deflection off the fielder would mean a single to Amber, and they both scored on the error, I'd suggest. So 2-0 early doors. West Torrens on top in the bottom of the first. Here's Lana Kaisler.
It's unfortunate to see that leadoff walk come back to bite you, but now that bases are cleared, we'll see if Claire can get a reset here and get it going.
As that pitch is in there for a strike on the hitter. Clears the bases for Lana. Claire is one of those hitters who pitchers rather, she's a hitter too, but Claire is one of those pitchers that has tremendous top spin on her pitches. So if she can just keep that ball, that was a bit of a little bit of a mix-up in there. Yeah, just brushing her off the plate. But if Claire can hit those low spots with that fantastic top spin that she's got, the worst that's going to happen is going to be those sort of ground ball singles. And if she mixes that in with her change-up, she's going to have a lot of success.
Absolutely, and from what I've seen behind the plate, Courtney seems to have a really great glove, so she's handling that down ball really well.
3 balls, 1 strike brings the count for Lana.
Lots of hands back on that one, and Georgia King just having a little trouble getting a handle on that. She just juggled it around a little bit before she could get a throw across. Lana Kaiser beats out the throw. Just checking to our left, the red pen's out, so it will go down as an error to the shortstop. Let's have a look at the Arkabar replay here.
Well hit ball there by Lana. Georgia King does a good job to keep the ball in front of her, but just comes up a little bit short on that throw. Erin Adams-McDonald just can't quite get a handle on that ball, and Lana is held up at 1, but you can see catcher there, Hawkinson, did a fantastic job of saving extra bases by running to back up that throw.
Absolutely, that's a very underrated part of catching, I think. Gets overlooked. People don't credit that,
you know what? As a pitcher, whenever I back up a ball, obviously I don't want there to be an overthrow, but the thrill that I get of fielding like a ball in a backup situation is pretty high. Obviously I don't want that to happen, but yeah.
Nearly, I played a couple of games over my career as a catcher as well, so I understand about the backup. Not that I did it much later in my career though, with the bad back and sore hip and.
Oh yes, backing up the first baseman in practice honestly sometimes just feels like doing wind sprints. But it pays off.
Yeah, with your gear.
Emma Burridge fouls this one off, and great effort from our team at Space Quake Sports, by the way, doing another terrific broadcast tonight. You know, a couple of little technical difficulties to start with, but the man, the myth, the legend, producer Brandon got us up and running. We missed, 2 pitches, I think, so beautiful stuff. Hard hit ball to the backhand side. King does a great effort to get her body across behind the ball, firing it over to first base for the first out.
That was a great transition there by Georgia, you can see, and an absolute bullet of a throw. Yeah, fantastic play. That's the sort of defense that Hills are going to need to play consistently all game to come up against West Torrens tonight.
And that's a really great job of her brushing off the last play and being able to get some redemption on the next one. It's always kind of funny how when you make an error, the ball seems to find you.
Sophie Hoyle hitting 5 for the Eagles tonight, using the Eastern Ghost. I'm sure you're using the Eastern Ghost, nearly the best bat on the market.
Yes, I am.
Gets under it a little. King gets also under it in a different way. Reads it pretty well and takes a good catch for the second out. In the hot spot tonight,
Yeah.
Georgia King.
Looking pretty comfortable over there at shortstop too. Sometimes those balls can cause a bit of strife. But am I right in saying she hasn't always spent much time at shortstop?
It's the second game of the
Yeah, there we
season.
go.
And normally she's behind the dish catching for the Hills Heat. But for team balance, she goes out to short. Bastion over to second.
Yeah, looking pretty comfortable over there too.
Abby Bastion had our top play of the year last year, the Spacequake Sports top 10 plays of the year. It was a diving catch up the middle, taking it shallow centre field. Brilliant play. Here's Tara Lord, ground ball over to Abby Bastion on cue for the third out. So the Hills Heat tidy up their defence. They get out of it, but not before 2 runs are scored. Here's a look at the Arkabar replay, and we're watching Abby Bastion make some good ground and a nice play over to first. And, well, thanks to the Arkabar, whether it's a dining experience in the restaurant, catching the latest live action at Sporty's Bar, enjoying a comfortable and convenient stay in the accommodation rooms, or being entertained by incredible live performances, you'll always be welcomed at the Ark. Steph,
James.
Sporty's Bar player of the game tonight. You've got the
It's a bit early to make that pick, isn't it, James?
You've got the duties, though. So
Okay, right.
You're going to speak to Sporty's Bar player of the game.
It's probably going to be a picture. I'm kidding.
No doubt. So just make sure in your notes that you are taking, just to make sure that you keep an eye out for who our best performing player is tonight for the Sporty's Bar player of the game. Nearly, you can try and influence it towards a catcher if you like.
Absolutely. I'm very biased, so.
I just went into autopilot. My apologies. You're supposed to be doing the in between.
No. Take it away. You are more than welcome.
Talia Sutton to start off the top of the second for West Torrens, and pitcher battle here. Claire Mohan-Ram in the lineup tonight.
Claire, I think, is in the midst of some Year 12 exams going on at the moment. So fancy coming and, off some intense studying and exam work to come play a softball game on a Wednesday night.
Where else would you rather be?
Oh, I couldn't name another place.
It's a nice piece. Ground ball over to Emma Burridge for the first out. The Eagles throw the ball around the infield. Do you want me to go through the lineup? Did we go through the lineup for the Eagles at the top of the first? Not sure we did. Sophie Hoyle playing first, Emma Burridge at second, Lana Kaiser at third, Maddie Scott at shortstop. Outfield left to right, Caitlin Holt, Tara Lord, Abby Luttrell. Gee, a young outfield there for the Eagles tonight.
Young outfield, but Caitlin's played, I think, pretty much every game in left field so far for the Eagles. So she'd be coming in with a little bit of confidence. And Tara and Abby have both done a really good job in their opportunities so far to be given a start as West Torrens battle a few in and outs and a few injuries. As that ball's fouled down the right field line by Tiana Staker, who is making her A-grade debut tonight. Premier League debut tonight.
Right, couple of names I don't know. Catalina Sterian as well. Has played one game so far this year. So congratulations to Tiana, who's in the box at the moment. Watches that one for a called strike, the first strikeout of the game. Nearly calling a low zone, always hard to hit.
Definitely. But again, props to catchers because that is the toughest pitch to frame in my opinion. So they're making it look really well, helping their pitcher out.
Yeah, that low and in pitch is like yucky, isn't it?
Yeah, that can be quite difficult on the thumb as well if you don't get it correctly. Looks like Talia's settling in here a bit, so that's good.
This is Catalina Sterian in the box. As Steph's paperwork starts flying around. The breeze, it's light, but there's a little bit around. You got the rough sheet tonight, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Took it for the team.
All good. 1-1 count. There's 2 out. It's been a short inning so far for the Heels Heat to get the 2 out. Quick smart from the Eagles. Foul ball into the chest guard.
She almost caught that with her stomach there, Amber. You think you could hear that too on the camera. It looked like the ball got like stopped and suspended in mid-air. Here we can see on the Arkabar replay, she really
setting up low, wasn't she? Setting up low, and then the pitch came through the tip and the foul tip from Sterian, and it's just diverted into the chest plate. So that's why we wear the gear, Nearly.
Absolutely, but I will say that it doesn't help very much when you get hit like that.
High for a ball, so good mix from Sutton. Try and get some numbers on Sutton, Steph.
Yeah, she's thrown some innings so far this year, I think.
All but one game. Jess Ryder had the win on the weekend against Glenelg. Oh, high pitch. She's gone after it. Maddie Scott backs back and takes a good catch. She had Caitlin Holt right there to support, but the third out is made. 3 up, 3 down for the Heels Heat, and West Torrens will come in and try and put a few more runs on as we have a look at the Arkabar replay.
Takes that pretty comfortably there, Maddie Scott. That's a tricky play too, but does it like a champ. Reads it really well off the bat. Has confidence in herself.
Yeah, defense has really held up for West Torrens. 3 base on balls in the first inning, so maybe some getting into the rhythm tonight for Talia. But since that third walk, there's been a few retired in a row, and now West Torrens look like they're rolling now. On the flip side for that Heels Heat, shaky start, couple of errors to start the inning, then looked pretty solid with plays to second base and shortstop to end the inning after those 2 runs were scored. So really need to be on top of the game here. It's close. You mentioned at the top, Steph, it's the closest that I can remember at least, because you look at the ladder, Walkerville sitting top. They've played the most games. They've got played 7 for 9 points. Then you've got Port Adelaide, West Torrens and Seacombe, Seacombe in the mix there on 6 points. Glenelg and Hills 1 game behind them on 4, and Sturt, who are leading over on the backfield on 3 points. So such a tight start to the year.
Always great to see how the season unfolds, especially when we've got new pitchers come in for the league. Often they seem to do really, really well at the beginning of the season, and then either the pitchers will start to figure out the hitters, or maybe the hitters will start to figure out the pitchers, as Abby Luttrell just fouls that one off. But yeah, really interesting to see, I suppose, how the season unfolds in the end, isn't it? Because finals aren't won in October, are they, James?
They are not. And
or November.
No. Nearly West Torrens, 5 games, 3 wins, 2 losses. Both those losses coming at the hands of the Tigers.
Yes, we have had great success against them. So
ground ball in the 5-6 hole. That might be a Premier League hit for Abby Luttrell. Yeah, it's her first hit in the Premier League. Congratulations to Abby Luttrell. She's all smiles. Let's have a look at the Arkabar replay.
Abby does such a good job there to get her hands in. Just find that 5-6 hole to get herself safely on board. And I tell you what, she can run. She was up at first base so quick. So it'll be interesting to see as we see Talia foul a sack bunt down. It'll be interesting to see what Abby does on the bases too, because she's quick.
Talia Sutton hitting 273 in the season so far. Not bad for a teenage pitcher.
Not bad for really anyone, to be honest.
gets the bunt down. This time back to Mohan Ram, who fires it across to Bastion, covering first for the first out. And Luttrell makes her way over to second and in scoring position.
It's always great when you can get a sacrifice bunt down. I think that's a very underrated part of the game. Just huge. Teammates coming out to celebrate. Move the runner across. Give yourselves a chance to score here on a single.
Love a bit of team hitting. Brings a 9-hitter. Caitlin Holt to bat with runner in scoring position and 1 out. If West Torrens can convert here with Caitlin, either by on base or by scoring a run and bringing the top of the lineup up.
Gets a nice piece of the ball. It's going to go to the right-hand side of the centre fielder, but Luttrell thinks better of it. Makes the second out. Nice play from Lara Temke.
I want to see her run. I want to see Abby run. She is a quick runner. I want to see her take on that arm, although Lara's got a pretty good throw and she turned on that really well. It was a little bit shallow to start off with, especially early in the game.
Might be able to see it now with 2 out. Runner will be going on anything here. Here's Maddie Scott, a base on balls, her first plate appearance. High for a ball. Two out. Abby Luttrell, the runner on 2. Just had her first Premier League hit. Scott gets a piece of it. Shortstop Georgia King makes a play, but Scott beats it out for an infield single. Couldn't do anything better out there at shortstop Georgia King. It was just that Maddie Scott was too quick up the bases.
Georgia King looking really good on that Arkabar replay. You can see she had a little bit of a misstep, but did such a good job as Maddie turns on that ball. Doesn't try and do too much with it, just puts it in a good spot. You can see here Georgia King has a little misstep, but keeps her feet really well, throws a bullet and does not miss the mark by that much.
Runs at the corners now for West Torrens. Timeout called, both teams having a chat. 2 out. He's sending Maddie Scott. She's obviously shown her wheels. We haven't really seen Hawkinson tested yet.
It'll be interesting to see what play they run here. If Maddie does steal, if they choose a cutoff or pick to third.
See what Coach Harris over at third base tonight has lined up as Amber
That'll
Scott nails that over Lara Tamke's head in centre field. That's going to score 1. It's going to score 2 as Amber's going to turn, going to 3, and she is diving. Probably unnecessary as she attempts to run home, but thinks better of it. Sorry, James, I stole your job.
Triple for Amber Hood. Just
zone.
nails the first pitch on the 1-3 split. It's almost like it was a hit and run because Maddie Scott was turning 2 as that ball sailed over Tamke's head at centre field. Hood slides in head first for a triple. She's brought in a couple of runs tonight already, Amber Hood, and that catcher nearly might be early leader for the Sporties Bar player of the game.
If it was a hit and run, you typically like to see a ball on the ground, but triple over the center fielder's head will do just fine, huh?
Yeah, not bad.
2 hits for the game already for Amber Hood. There's only been 3 hits in the game. She's got 2 of them. She brought Maddie Scott in the first inning. She scored herself off that error from the centre fielder, and in this time just hits it over her head. Lana Kaiser back into the box. Watches a called strike. Having a night so far, Amber Hood.
Certainly is.
Crushes this out to deep left field. Rattles off the fence. Casually stands up at 2. Hills get that ball in a hurry and reduces it just the double. Kaiser's happy with it. Arkabar replay.
That was a really nice short, compact swing, beautiful line drive into left center field. Just can't ask for anything better. Took it exactly where it was pitched.
I think Lana is known for her short, compact swings.
I mean, that is just right to the ball.
Yeah, I've seen her short, compact swing the ball over the fence many occasions. Works for her. She's obviously got a lot of power. And she can run pretty fast too. Brings to bat Emma Burridge, who last time grounded out to Georgia King at shortstop.
Also going long, but Lara Temke has learned from the last two batters. She just pushes back a couple of steps and makes a great catch.
You can see there on the Arkabar replay, Lara tracks it straight off the bat, underneath it, can of corn for her out in the centre field to get her team out of a little bit of a jam, as we can feel West Torrens starting to get good bat on ball this inning. Might see a little bit of a switch up from the heels coming up.
Yeah, 3 runs scored. It's a 5-0 ball game. And speaking of ball games, over on Diamond 2, we've got an update in the game between the Sturt Falcons and the Port Adelaide Magpies. It's the bottom. We've just completed the 4th inning. Port Adelaide have made a comeback. They scored 2 in that inning. So it's a 4-2 ball game. Interesting for Port Adelaide, only the 1 hit so far in their lineup. That has come from Charlize Callahan. So Ollie Durham doing a great job on the strike for the Falcons. No more hits for the Falcons. They got 4 in the game, 2 of them to Maddie Cameron.
See Belinda White's on the scorecard out there playing centre field tonight. That might be a new one for her.
Yeah, Tass Strapp's listed. She's got a hit and a walk in the game. So great to see her in the starting lineup, returning in the starting lineup for the Falcons. Belinda White out patrolling centre field. Abby Bastion has a big swing, but only fouls it off into foul territory, first base side. Sophie Hoyle all over it and snags the catch.
Yeah, it looks like it might have done a bit of a spin in the air, because I thought that was going to be well foul, but Sophie does a really good job tracking that in. It sort of spins back into the field. Amber didn't have much of a read of it right away, and I think Sophie identified that and was straight off the bat after that ball. What a great out for a team.
Megan Williams, the hitter. It's only the 2nd pitch she's faced tonight. She laid down a sacrifice bunt, her first turn at bat, advancing Abby Bastion to 2nd. Watches that one through. Here's a change-up and called strike.
Looked like she crossed up Amber a little bit there, but still hit a corner nonetheless.
Sometimes those change-ups can get a little squirrely. I'm sure you know about that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Great pitch from Sutton. Yeah, 3-pitch strikeout. And that one, a great 1-2 punch, wasn't it, for a change up and then hard and high for a strikeout.
Textbook that one is, James. See there on the rise ball in the outside corner.
Seems to have loosened up a little bit, pitching with a lead a little bit now, so very good pitch.
Yeah, just hits that outside corner there on Hawkinson. What confidence that she can come into this hitter now with two outs and be able to just attack her, knowing that she's got such a good defense behind her. 2 outs on the batter, and as a 16-year-old youngster, I suppose, coming through, what a great opportunity for her to come through and pitch against girls that are quite a bit older than her, have had quite a lot more experience with her playing overseas. But yeah, what a great opportunity it is for Talia to come in right now.
2-1 for Hawkinson. 2 out here in the top of the 3rd. Change up just starts a little high, doesn't it? And we do remind our viewers that it's not where the catcher takes the ball, it's where the ball crosses the plate. So great zone from plate umpire Nikki Wong tonight so far. Another change up.
Really good
that
adjustments
one's
there
there
on that pitch. She's really working that change up heavily tonight.
Yeah, Amber does love a bit of a change up behind the plate there, calling those shots. I would know. She calls a few of them. Be interesting to see what payoff pitch here is in the full count.
Hawkinson stands and delivers. It hits a deep ball, bounces off the Spacequake sports sign on the home run fence. She's hit that one 229 feet. The fence is 229.5 feet. Just that little bit extra, and I think she may have even been ripped off by this West Beach breeze. Normally it blows a little heavier this time of night. Aqaba replay, let's have a look.
That sounded really good off the bat.
See that Tara out in centre field, she actually gloved it. She just got her glove to it. She didn't get her glove to it. That could have ricocheted a lot further back into the field and been a little bit more of a trouble because outfielders was so deep. There was no one else that was going to support her. Now, on that note, Neely, how many home run fences in college do you think that would not have gone over?
Not many.
I know back in my school, I'm pretty sure our home run fences were 190 down the lines.
In the corners?
190 in the corners.
We were 200 down the line and probably 220, 225 in center.
Yeah.
And we had probably one of the bigger fields.
So pitching 190 as a rise ball pitcher, I tell you, I gave up a lot of home runs because it was like pop-ups would go over the fence. So I feel like our fences here are higher and a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Well, I can't let you guys brag without doing my own flex. When I coached the
Australian
Special Olympic team,
about how many home runs
about being in America, you know, playing in these college fields. When I coached the Australian Special Olympic team, you came and visited me. We're at the UCLA campus. That's 190 in the corners as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I was shocked by that.
And the trees go really high.
That's a bit of an older stadium too, so I'm sure.
And then the drop off afterwards, like you wouldn't want to be fetching those home run balls. It's so steep.
I can confirm there were home runs hit off me at UCLA. If we want to keep bragging.
Nearly, you'll work out pretty quickly that I'm not about self-promotion whatsoever.
No, very humble.
I've used that joke a couple of times on the broadcast. Back to the actions. 3-1 count here on Erin Adams-McDonald. Fouls this one. Hoyle's chasing after it and just loses sight of it.
It's hard to track those ones when it goes up into the night sky and then you see either they get lost in the lights or like adjusting. That's really hard to track. So.
Especially running backwards, trying to see where you're going. One quick glance away from the ball and you might not find it again.
Payoff pitch, 2 out, full count, runner in scoring position here in the top of the third. Finds the gap, and the runner's going to take on the throw of this West Torrens defence. Great throw from the cut-off player in Lana Kaysler. So great play from Caitlin Holt out at left field. Great relay from the West Torrens defence. And a nice tag at home from Amber Hood. Let's have a look and unpack this on the Aqaba replay.
What a great relay there by West Torrens. You can see Amber does a really fantastic job. Still gives her that part of the plate. That ball was just caught on a dime right where Marek tried to get a hand to the plate. As we can see, it looks like Marek might have hesitated a little bit rounding third base, maybe lost her footing a little bit. As she tried to get that fadeaway slide in. It looked like her outside hand actually got in okay, but Amber sort of got her right before the hand sort of moved over.
Yeah, I think on trying to avoid the tag, it was that backhand sort of attempt to try and touch the back end of the plate, wasn't it? But there's the third out, and West Torrens get out of that one. Erin Adams-McDonald, great shot to the left side as well. We've got to acknowledge that shot. Beautiful hit from Adams-McDonald on a full count and that runner in scoring position. But Hills denied here in the top of the third.
Not much gets through that 5-6 hole with West Torrens between Maddie Scott covering a lot of ground and Lana at third base. So this Saturday we see Glenelg take on Sturt. We'll see Seacombe take on Port Adelaide. And the main game will be West Torrens versus Walkerville live on Spacequake Sports at 3 p.m. So a big round, but lots of really good matchups this week.
Yes, great matchups, Neely. You've got Port Adelaide.
Have you played them yet?
No, we have not. First time, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Hopefully we put a good beating on them.
And Walkerville versus West Torrens. We'll get another look at Walkerville's pitcher for the year, Taylor Caudle, I believe. So it'll be really good to have a look at her on the live stream, see what she's all about.
Yes, 72 strikeouts, I think, in 7 games.
This season?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, 35 innings as well. So she's going a
Holy.
little bit better than 2 strikeouts an inning at the moment.
Wow. That is a lot of strikeouts already.
Yeah, sure is. There's Steph Drzezinski numbers.
No. Not this season, that's for sure. As Hoyle fouls that one off behind her.
That's not what I meant. I didn't mean this season.
Yeah, obviously. I'll be back soon, though. Maybe. Stay tuned.
Well, I'm sure all our viewers will be keen to see you back on the diamond soon,
They probably
Steph.
just want me off the mic.
You're doing a great job. Great
Thanks.
feedback. It's like you're a natural at this. Sophie Hoyle is the batter in the box. She was behind 0-2 pretty quickly. Watches that one for a ball. Popped up to the shortstop. Her first time at bat. There's Claire Mohan-Ram on screen. Bottom of the third here on a... It's not freezing cold. It's really dropped in temperature, I think, in the last hour, but...
Standard West Beach night, I think,
yeah.
in November. Would like a little bit more sunshine, though.
Just gets under it again as she's not happy with her own efforts, Sophie Hoyle, but Megan Williams gets under it, takes a great catch for the first out. Here's the Akbar replay.
Yeah, just
Spun
underneath
off
that
a little
one.
bit.
Megan Williams called that straight off the bat.
We're at the halfway mark of the game. We played 90 minutes, no new innings after 85, but if we start an inning, we will complete it. And Steph, you've got the Sporties Bar player of the game. 24 screens, booth seating, digital darts, shuffleboard. They've got non-stop live sport. So there's always something to watch up on the big screen. Sporties Bar is the place to be this summer. Nice change of pace from Mohan-Ram to get a strike on Tara Lord. Just her second game of this Premier League season. Played on the weekend and it was like she didn't miss a beat from where she finished up last year.
Really well at second base. Had a couple diving plays.
Hammers it to the right side. I think that's her third hit of the season as well. So 2 hits on Saturday. That's her first hit tonight and West Torrens are rolling.
What I love about Tara is she's just such an athlete. Like, she's very athletic. She plays a lot of AFL. That's Australian football nearly. We'll go through that later.
Okay, thank you.
Plays a lot of AFL. She's very athletic. And she just looks like an athlete in everything she does. Defensively, hitting, running.
She did a really great job of sitting on that back-to-back changeup
did.
and shooting it through the 3-4 hole.
Couldn't have summed it up better, nearly, as she gets a big lead off. I thought she was taking off there on the pitch. Here is Abby Luttrell, another one of the young stars coming up through the West Torrens ranks.
Yeah, good to see some youngsters coming through West Torrens because West Torrens has been quite a consistent team over the last few years in terms of the players. Some of the girls on the team now getting a bit on in their careers. So it's good to see some of the young girls coming through, sort of inching their way as the older girls make some room.
Yeah, a couple of premiership players out tonight. Oh, Luttrell bounces the ball to shortstop.
Beautiful.
Nice play out of the glove from Georgia King, if you don't mind. That'll definitely go on the highlight reel afterwards. Here's the Akbar replay. If she'd gone with the hand, wouldn't have made the out.
Agree, yep. That's a great job of just knowing your second baseman's going to be there as well.
She only ice cream cone that too, didn't she?
That was such a good play.
It was such a
We've
good
undercalled
play.
that, guys. I think
I
we
know,
need to
that
start
was very
to
good.
lift the level a little bit.
It's really hard to do that and not like flick it too hard and it go over your head too. So Georgia King's very impressed with me tonight. at shortstop.
Stayed very in control on that play.
Yeah.
She made it look easy, honestly.
She did.
Well, there's 2 out now with the runner over at first. Abby Luttrell's that player. Here's Talia Sutton. Bunted, her first plate appearance. And she goes up the middle Great shot from the young pitcher. Just teenager. 6 to 9 in the order for West Torrens, and they've contributed for a couple of hits, a sacrifice bunt already. So brilliant contribution from these young Eagles as we see a pitcher courtesy runner.
They're keeping it really simple too, just using the middle and right side of the field. I always thought it was corny, but my coach would say up the middle solves the riddle. And the older I get, the more true it seems.
I love that.
I can work with that.
Because it really is just a guaranteed hit almost every time, unless you've got a Maddie Scott or a Georgia King out there. It's a shortstop.
Caitlin Holt, the fourth of the teenage crew in the bottom half of the lineup for West Torrens. Hit a long ball to centre field, her first time up. It's 2 out though, runners at 1 and 2. We'll turn it over to Maddie Scott if she can find her way on base. Fouls this one off as a chance here as it just gets out of reach for Hawkinson. Game-changing catches, they say, nearly. The catcher taking a catch in foul territory?
Oh, absolutely. It's just probably, I'm sure Steph can attribute to this, a weight lifted off of your shoulders as a pitcher. You get a foul ball, and your catcher can make a great grab to take it, get you off the field.
Truly feels like a free out in that instance. But Hawkinson covered some ground on that.
Absolutely,
too.
she did, yep.
Nice pitch from Mohan Ram to even up the count at 2-2. Battle hard, the call from the first base coach. We have a battle here between Mohan Ram and Holt. Another hit up the middle for West Torrens. Slight fumble. The runner is sent, and because of that fumble, the centre fielder thought better of trying to make a play. Luttrell scores from 2. Nice shot from Holt.
Great placement hitting there by Caitlin Holt. You can see here in the Arkabar replay, Lara Tankman keeps the ball in front of her, sees that Abby Luttrell was almost at home plate already by the time she'd fumbled it, picked it up, thought better of it, didn't let the runners advance, taking extra bases, stopped the bleeding.
Timeout called from the Hills Heat coach, Reggie Fairley. Mia Oates-Willis is coming into the game by the looks of things. 1-7, 7-1. Tiana Staker.
Looks like they're putting Marek in for the left fielder and then doing a 1-7, 7-1 is what I presume is happening, as I can see Coach Reggie passes Marek the ball.
Okay, Zoe Marich did a great job on Saturday, holding the Sturt Falcons scoreless through the first 3 quarters of the game before Mohan Ram came in to close it. We've mentioned that already tonight, as I was going to lead into see how Sturt Falcons was going tonight, and my eye scores
not cooperating is the word, yeah.
So you guys are going to have to talk about something else until I can find it.
Well, we saw Marek pitch on Saturday against the Sturt, as you said, did a fantastic job. She is quite a utility player, does a little bit of everything, has similar sort of good down ball pitches. Key thing for Marek tonight is going to be hitting spots, especially going into this strong West Torrens lineup. Similar speed to Mohan Ram. We'll definitely have to utilise that little bit of a change-up that she does have to try and keep the ball for the Hills Heat, the girls, the team behind her, to make some outs.
It is the top of the 6th. There's about 7 minutes to go in this game, so probably, likely the final, will be the final inning over on the backfield. Sturt Falcons leading Port Adelaide 4-2. Don't count out the Magpies just yet. They've got the last chance. Ollie Durham, 5 innings of work, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts against Kate Geldof, who's just about to complete her 6th inning for 1 strikeout, 5 hits and 5 walks. So Sturt so far in control. They've only won the 1 game so far this year. A win will leapfrog them into 5th place, will overtake Hills and Glenelg if the scores remain the same in this game. It's currently 6-0.
5 innings for Ollie and 1 hit against that Port Adelaide lineup. It's very impressive because they have some very good, very strong hitters between Jess Golden, Marcelino, Maslin, Callahan, it goes on, and Geldof. Very strong hitting lineup as Marek throws ball 1 to Maddie Scott.
3 hits from the last 4 batters for West Torrens. We turn it over to the top of the lineup. It's trouble for the Hills because these first 3 hitters for West Torrens have all got on every time they've come to the plate so far. Maddie Scott a walk and a single, Amber Hood a single and a triple. Lana Kaiser hit a hard shot to the shortstop, forcing an error before her double. So job is ahead of young Marek here.
So Marek has pitched a bit for Hills between last season and this season, so she's not unfamiliar with this sort of situation. But I know that she does quite a bit of work with Maddie Scott in terms of working on her own skills, Coach Maddie Scott. But as a coach, playing against people that you coach is the most nerve-wracking thing for me. I'm not afraid to admit it. So Maddie shows really good discipline there in taking ball 4 to bring up Amber Hood with loaded bases.
Yeah, base on balls, loads them up, and just some numbers on Zoe Marek. She's only thrown 5 and 2/3 innings so far, but respectively 0 ERA.
Yeah, 5 innings on the season so far, but as I said, Zoe would have shouldered a bit of work for them last season. She's found herself many different places on the field, probably like that true utility player, so really good to see her stepping up for her team here and playing a role.
Here's the red-hot Amber Hood. 2 hits already in this game, couple of RBIs.
See, the meeting that Courtney called with Zoe proved to be beneficial as she comes back with a strike there. That's always nice to see.
High for a ball, 1-1 count, loaded bases, and there's wheels all the way around here for West Torrens as well. So if this one finds a gap, it's going to be more runs for West Torrens.
Amber Hood going 2 for 2 on the night with 2 hits up the middle.
Oh, it just bounces off the glove of Bastion, who did well to knock it down. Maddie Scott in trouble here. And you heard it from Neely Peterson, a nice play. Scott was ultra aggressive around third. Good play from Hawkinson to fire it across to Megan Williams to make that tag for the third out. 2 runs across the plate. Here's a look at the Arkabar replay. She stayed low. She did everything right there, Abby Bastion, but it deflects and goes out to the right fielder. Gets the throw in quick, smart, all the way to home. Maybe fortunate to miss the cutoff.
That's a great job of smothering the ball, make sure it doesn't get by you, and extremely heads up to look at that trail runner.
Yeah, and off her knees too, through that as a bullet.
Yeah, I see in between innings she throws from her knees a lot. It seems to be where she's really comfortable. She's got the arm for it.
Noted.
Same.
What are the... Yeah. Neely, what are the benefits or the disadvantages of throwing off your knees in that situation?
I always say that a catcher should be able to do both, just because if you get a pitch up in the zone, it's obviously quicker to go from the feet, and then a ball down in the zone, it's quicker to transfer from your knees. It's really all just, it comes down to preference with catchers, but the benefits are definitely from your knees is a bit quicker, but from your feet, I think you're stronger with your arm. So for me, I just go with the pitch, but for other people, they seem to, if they prefer one or the other, they seem to get really good at that and can kind of do it no matter where the pitch is in the zone. So,
James, you're a catcher in your heyday. What was your preference?
Heyday, I wasn't listening, didn't hear the question because I was too busy looking at other things. What did
just you not listening to me again. That's
right.
old news.
Old news.
We're talking about catchers throwing from their knees or on their feet.
Yeah.
And I said, what was your preference?
Yeah, well, obviously, for a curve or a rise ball, there's no way I'm throwing off my knees. Maybe a low rise.
Oh,
maybe a low rise.
A curve, though.
Yeah.
If it takes you to transfer.
I'm not trying to give it away too much. I'm not setting up too early.
Give it away.
Curve.
The balls are okay.
Down ball, though, maybe. But anything on the inside, I mean.
Oh, that's a tough transfer, right?
Yeah. It's always hard to get a throw over on an inside pitch. But, no, I kind of pride myself on my transition. I was pretty quick in one area of my game, and that was it.
I don't care where you throw
fast,
from as long as it goes where it's supposed to.
At the end of the day, yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I always got up to answer your question.
Okay, there we go.
All right, back to the action. This is Georgia King for the Hills Heat. They're chasing 8 at the moment here. The Hills Heat, as they ended the last inning really positively with hits to Hawkinson and Adams McDonald. Would have been handy to have those runners on for Georgia King. She has a 3-0 pitch and watches that one just below the letters for a called strike and a 3-1 count. High for a ball. That change up again, just starting a little too high for Sutton. And King is on board. That is the 4th walk of the game for Sutton. She's got 2 strikeouts.
2 strikeouts, 4 walks. You'll probably find as a pitcher in general, you want to try and keep your strikeout ratio better than your walk ratio is normally a pretty solid rule of thumb. But Sutton definitely seems to be improving as the game goes on. Lead-off walk, there was a pitcher that is sort of the cardinal sin. That and walking the 9-hitter. Which one's worse, James?
Walking the 9-hitter with two out.
Yeah, and runners on base.
Well, this ball gets away from the field, and Georgia King had her back turned because she was returning to the base. So they get away with that one there, West Torrens. Lara Tamke's the hitter. She's got a good hitters count here, 2-0. As she gets after it and it will go foul, she'll live again. It landed inside the fence, so that breeze may have kept that one inside. But
Amber looked keen to go and catch that one. Sophie had a fancy one last time. It looked like Amber wanted to get herself going. That one too.
Nearly just having a little bit of a frog in her throat, doesn't realise that she's just walked behind the diamond, and which is where the camera's facing. She'll be back.
She just wanted a bit of screen time.
Okay. Well, nice. Thanks, producer Brandon, looking after our American guest. I've got some news from the backfield. Stick around for a... There she is on screen. Wave, Neely, you're on camera.
Say hi to your dad.
Nice pitch, a change of pace from Sutton for a strikeout. That's her 3rd of the night. Welcome back, Neely. We didn't talk about you at all.
I'm so sorry. Getting over a bit of a sickness, and I did not want to have a cough attack in the mic.
No.
Just quickly on the backfield, it is still the top of the 6th. Third have broken it open, 8-2. Maddie Cameron's hit a 2nd home run of the game.
Maddie Cameron.
Wow. Have a night.
She has some power, let me tell you.
Well,
don't throw it inside to her.
Noted.
Yeah. Actually, don't throw it anywhere near the plate, to be honest.
I'm not trying to be negative about it. It may be a slower start to the season that she's ever had. All right, batting around about 200. Tonight, she's gone 3 for with 2 home runs. That's Maddie Cameron back.
Do you remember when she hit like 700 on the season or something ridiculous?
Yeah,
whole season.
It was one of the best individual hitting seasons I've ever seen in my life. She could not miss.
And she had a hit in like every single game. Every single game.
Yeah. I remember I was keeping a tally of how many games she went getting a hit, and I think it was every game. She didn't have a hitless game. Claire Mohan Ram back to the plate. This Hills team impresses me. They've got some real young players, but they're honest players. You know, they're always giving it their all, and here's one of them as she gets a nice piece, but goes foul to the right side. Bastion, Adams, McDonald, King, Tamke, Mohan, Ram, these players are going to be around for another 10 years or more. Well, they're all teenagers, right? So they'll probably be around for 15 years.
That's a long time.
This Hills lineup has got a big future ahead of them. Great change of pace, and the West Torrens infield was celebrating before the ball got to the plate. Nice pitch from Sutton. That's her 4th strikeout. Back-to-back Ks in this game. Here's a look at the Akabara replay.
You can see on the replay that change-up really just sort of drops off the table, making it really hard to sort of judge that height and that depth perception. So if she can locate that one really well, she's going to have so much success, as you can see on that pitch.
This one gets away from Hood. King will finally be released from first base. Feels like a long time ago that she started this inning off with a base on balls. Runner in scoring position here for the Heat. Here's Zoe Marrick.
Good eyes on that pitch by Zoe. Natural right-handed hitter, made the switch to the left-hander's batter's box maybe 12, 18 odd months ago. She's really come a long way. You can see that she'll put down the bunch, she'll hit and she'll slap. She takes that pitch for strike 1.
Nice shot opposite field to the left side, but it goes foul. Falcons have finally finished their 6th inning. They lead by 6, 8-2. Don't celebrate too early, Neely. Don't make that mistake again, will we?
No, not with us at least.
Yeah, you've had 2 come from behind wins this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really just tested us as a team. That's a really great effort there from the catcher. Never given up on the ball. But yeah, we've had some really great come from behind wins. It's just kind of tested us to see what we're made of a little bit. See the grit that we've got. So that was really nice to see.
Here's the Akabara replay, having a look at one of the contenders for Sporties Bar player of the game. Amber Hood just jumps on that loose one, fires it across for a chance, but Georgia King too quick, slides well and makes her way over to third. So Marrick fouls this one off.
On Seacombe having those come behind wins, we know one of them was obviously against West Torrens Eagles. So West Torrens have had a few games lately where they've struggled. They've led for most of the games, struggled a little bit in the end of the game. So they'll be looking to change that momentum up a little bit tonight and really sort of put their foot down and finish this game strong. Long at bat here from Marrick.
Really great 2-strike hitting, just kind of spoiling those pitches until you get one you can really drive.
Payoff pitch, 2 out. Marriage gets under it a little. It's a high ball out to left field, and Caitlin Hull almost looked like she lost sight of it right at the last minute, but takes a great catch, stretching back over her head.
Yeah, if that doesn't show you what the West Beach swirly wind is like, looks very similar to that catch that Lana took in the final last year. You can see straight off the bat, she sort of runs in, thinks she's got it, swirls back behind her. That nearly would be almost what we would call a specky in AFL football. We'll go through that again later. But she does a really, really good job of sort of not taking her eyes off the ball, identifying that it's sort of tracked back, still makes the catch.
All right, well, we are bottom of the 4th here. Run rule is 10 after 4 or 7 after 5. So even if Hills get out of this scoreless, they still need to score 2 to keep the game going in the top of the next inning.
This is the bottom of the inning.
Bottom of the 4th now, yep. So West Torrens need 2 to make it run rule for a 10-run win.
Yep.
Or next inning it'll be 7 runs.
I'm with you.
But on the backfield, still the bottom of the 6th, 1 out. Enter Jess Golden, single. Enter Brie Marcelino, RBI single. It is 8-3. So Sturt still playing with another 5 over there. There's one out, runner at first, and that game started half an hour before this one, so it's a race to the finish.
I feel like we've seen two sides of the coin so far this season. We've seen some really high run scoring games, and we've also seen some really low run scoring games. So there's been a little bit of everything so far.
Yeah, I had a note the other day that there'd been 5 different teams that have had shutouts, wins.
Shutout wins, yeah.
Which just means that the balance of this competition this year, it's anyone's season.
Absolutely.
At the moment, Sturt beat Seacombe 3-1, Walkerville beat Seacombe 2-1, Hills beat Walkerville 1-0, West Torrens beat Port 3-2, Walkerville Sturt drew 3-all. So, yeah, there's been some absolute cracker games so far this season, and a few other one-run results as well, including that Seacombe come from behind win 6-5.
I mean, the fact that up until tonight, Sturt were technically sat at the bottom of the ladder. Sturt is such a quality team. That just goes to show that it really is anyone's game.
Yep. Add in Jess Maslin to that lineup. RBI double, make it 8-4 in the bottom of the 6th. Back to this game, Lana Kaiser watches a 3-0 change-up with a smile. We saw her muscle one out, her last plate appearance. Crushes this one up the middle. Marek just does enough to get out of the way of that one as Kaiser leads off the inning with her second hit of the night. Here's a look at the Arkabar replay.
Again, that short, compact swing up the middle solves the riddle. I mean, 3-1, that's a great hitter's count. She's just sitting on a good pitch and drove it right up the middle.
Emma Burridge to the plate. First pitch swinging, gets her first hit of the night. Good fielding from Tamke at centre field as the ball seemed to spun the opposite direction as she got to the ball. That's back-to-back hits for the Eagles. Back-to-back hard shots for West Torrens. Brings up Sophie Hoyle. The game-ending run is represented there over at first base for the Eagles, and Sophie Hoyle up to bat hitless tonight. Then you look at the next 4 batters after that, all with individual hits. Tara Lord, Abby Luttrell, Talia Sutton and Caitlin Holt. So no let up here for the Hills. They're going to have to battle to get out of this one.
Lots of hits coming through the lineup, as you said, James. And to be honest, Hills haven't put too many steps wrong. There were a couple errors in that first inning that were quite costly. But West Torrens Eagles are hitting the ball really well, really hard. Hills doing a relatively good job. Just a couple little miscues here and there, timely ones.
Well, 2-0 count for Sophie Hoyle. She's got under both of her plate appearances tonight for a pop-up to shortstop, pop-up to third. 2-0 count. You don't want it anywhere near her wheelhouse at the moment. Low and outside for a 3-0 count. Put your coach's hat on, ladies. You're giving a green light here to a power hitter in Hoyle.
I want to say yes.
High for a ball, and we won't get to find out as it's a base on ball. So Kaiser singles, Burridge singles, Hoyle walks. We've got loaded bases for the teenage sensations that are coming up here in Lord, Luttrell, Sutton and Holt, as Harris and Kaiser just sharing a laugh. They don't speak to each other enough, I don't think.
You just miss Lana's dance moves on the screen, but I'm sure you've seen them before.
There they are, the Eagles on screen. What's the chat at the plate, Neely?
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we could give you a break, a pass if you want here. If
No,
you're
I'm
suffering
okay.
still from the Adelaide cold weather.
Yeah, it's an adjustment from Florida for sure. But I
Yeah.
think the chat really is just take a deep breath, pound the zone, trust your defense.
When did you, it would have been much warmer over in Florida, I
Would have been
suppose, when you came in.
steaming
Yeah.
and disgusting
Hurricaning,
hot weather,
actually.
right?
Is your,
Actually,
your
There
family?
was, yes, everybody's fine. There
Okay.
was, though, a hurricane as soon as I left, which was a bit scary.
Are you close to Bree at all? She's from Florida.
She's on the opposite coast, a little bit more south.
So what coast are you on? Hang
I'm
on.
on the west coast.
I got a friend in Clearwater. She dressed
That's
up.
closer to me, yeah.
She dressed up as Ray Gun for Halloween.
Oh, no, no comment on
Small
that
world. Yeah, I'm in Tampa Bay, so I'm closer
Okay.
to Clearwater than I am to where Bree is.
Tampa Bay, huh?
Yep, the Bay.
Did we have any Australians over in Tampa Bay? I feel like we did, but I can't put my finger on it.
Not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Tampa. That might be a spring training. Oh, nice shot from Tara Lord. Hits it well to Temke at centre field. Lana Kaiser tags up for the
Here we go
sacrifice
again.
fly.
Oh.
Hockinson has just thrown it wild. The second run's going to score. It's going to end the game. Era Burridge on the wild throw, and plate umpire Nikki Wong calls time and game. It's a 10-0 run rule. West Torrens have beaten the Hills Heat for the second time this year, 10-0. They've done it in 4 innings tonight in 75 minutes, if you don't mind. In the meantime, the other game has just finished as well. Sturt Falcons running out winners 8-4 against Port Adelaide. Steph, you've got the task of the Sporties Bar Player of the Game. Do you
Yeah.
want to call this last play?
What a great hit there by Tara. You can see worthy of, even though it went straight to Lara in a glove, worthy of a game-winning hit, in my opinion. Absolutely crushed it, as did a few others in the lineup tonight. Amber Hood can't go past her with 2 hits, a single, a triple, and a few RBIs. Did a fantastic job behind the home plate, helping out Talia Sutton, who pitched a gem in the end, a shutout. She had 4 strikeouts, I believe, 4 walks, gave up just 2 hits. A few other contenders in the lineup, I think. Maddie Scott, as in that leadoff hole, had a couple walks and a hit. We had Lana Kaiser with a couple hits, Emma Burridge with a hit. So
Every player in that West Torrens lineup
Yeah, we could go on
contributed.
forever.
We could go on. You're going out there. You're interviewing the Sporties Bar Player of the Game. Nearly. Are we in agreement?
Yes, absolutely. That's a full team effort by West Torrens. It was keeping it really simple at the plate, had the big hit when they needed it, and they also took the walk when they needed it. So
As Steph runs out there to grab the Sporties Bar Player of the Game. She's trying to get away, and we will see Amber Hood on screen. Over to you, Steph.
I'm over here with Amber Hood, our Sporties Bar Player of the Game tonight. Had a single, a triple, called a hell of a game behind the plate for young Talia Sutton, who pitched a shutout with only a couple hits. Tell us what sort of conversation was going between you and Talia during the game.
We just wanted to get ahead early. We haven't really faced a few of these girls before, so we were just kind of feeling our way through it, but the field did good to back us up, so it was great.
Amazing. And a couple hits tonight. Really big triple in there as well. How did you feel at the plate tonight, hitting?
Pretty good. We were seeing the ball well. We've been doing heaps of hitting training, so it's pulling off.
Good to see someone that's paying off tonight. Thank you very much, Amber, for joining us. Back to you, James.
Sporties Bar Player of the Game, one of our favourites, Amber Hood. Still enjoying a laugh with West Torrens teammate Steph Trzynski. Nearly, thank you so much for joining us on
you
the
for having
commentary
me.
tonight. You've got a big game coming up
Absolutely.
this weekend against Port Adelaide.
yes, first time seeing them.
Right, and they'll be reeling after an 8-4 loss tonight to Sturt, who will go from 7th place to 5th place on the ladder. West Torrens, with that win, will leapfrog Port Adelaide and go into second, 1 point behind Walkerville. They play off this Saturday right here on Spacequake Sports. Is it the game of the day, Steph? It is. Walkerville versus West Torrens live on Spacequake Sports. The winner will go top of the table here in the Premier League. Excellent interview with Amber.
Thank you.
Yeah, 3 hits for the night for Amber. She caught a beauty behind the plate. Welcome return to the lineup for the Eagles. Any closing comments from our guest?
Just thank you for having me, and hi, Mom and Dad.
Hopefully we can get you
Didn't
back
do too
later
well.
in the season. Any final comments from our host, who's going to close off the broadcast for us?
Always a pleasure having me or having you here tonight, James and Nearly. What a great game for the West Torrens. Hills Heat have a lot to learn coming out of tonight's game. But thank you for joining us here on Gunnerland at West Beach, calling this game over Good night.